Welcome to valwyattmarine, another beautiful sunny day on the River Thames. My name's James and I've got an Interboat Intender 820 just over there behind me, which I'm looking forward to showing you around. So let's get down the pontoon and get you on board as soon as I can, but just a few moments to mention the spec and the colour scheme. We've got a grey hull there that'll show better in the photographs, probably because we are in the shade. The boat's been fitted with the optional extra of the puddening on the bow. That's the thicker section of the rope fender. It's also got what we call S-Tech on deck. This is a synthetic teak product, that's the brand. You've got that running around the decks, which really sets it off. You've also got that on the cockpit floor. Inside the boat, you've got the folding teak table. That stows away, and I can show you that in a minute away. These additional armrests and cup holders, they're a nice feature. You can move those around anywhere on the boat. You can also have them on the stern. Coming midships, you've got a freshwater system. It's a cold freshwater system if you want to wash your hands or do any like basic food preparation. And over on the other side we've got a fridge that I'll show you in a moment. Probably one of the biggest features of the 700 and the 820 is this triple sun deck at the rear, and I'm going to try and show you that in a moment. But effectively those bolster cushions come out. I'll show you those in a bit. So you can make that all into a sunbed area. Alternatively, you can have people sat facing aft while you're underway, and also people sat facing forward under your way. So that's a really social area. You could potentially have 6 people sat just there alone. Anyway, without further ado, as I say, I'll get you on board. I'm going to try and run you through from bow to stern. We looked at the forward deck. There's also an anchor locker in there. I think you can probably see that. How we have the spray hood folded flat here is very easy to do. In fact, we've got a separate video on how to do that if you're a boat owner. But there's no requirement to take the canopy material off the frame. So when you know what you're doing, you can actually just fold it flat like that to create the totally open dayboat very, very quickly. The clever part of this boat is, as well as that transom that I've already shown you from the outside, that in that section there is a toilet with a pump flush toilet with a holding tank. I'm going to show you around the main part of the cockpit of the boat, and then we'll get in there and have a look at that in a moment. I mentioned from the outside that we have these cup holders and armrests. So as you can see, those are completely freestanding, but they are quite nice if you want to sit down, rest your arm on it, and have your glass of wine or your beer tucked in there. Coming round starboard side, you have a drawer fridge. This particular boat, I think mentioned from the outside, but you've got this synthetic teak on the flooring. You've also got cockpit lighting going round. And then coming round to the helms, a couple of other extras fitted on here. This particular boat, it's got a bow thruster, rudder indicator. It's a Raymarine speed and depth, so that will give you the water depth at any time and the speed through the water. It will also give you the water temperature, revs, voltmeter, and your fuel gauge and switches around on the side. There's a couple of power outputs there for 12 volts. That's a standard cigarette lighter style, and that's actually a USB socket. On the port side, I showed you that sink from outside the boat, but you've just got that in there, and then underneath a useful storage cupboard. If you're picnicking, it's a good place to keep plates or glasses and that sort of thing. Coming aft, I will just show you, we've got these open lockers at the side. That's a nice solid teak surround on those. Those are a great place to tuck your fenders when you're underway, and also ropes, as I've done there at the moment. So coming round to this helm position, I mentioned from the outside you can have 3 or 4 people sat facing forward, 3 or 4 people facing aft, probably 3 unless they're children. You've also got the option to flip that bolster down, which instantly gives you an elevated driving position, which is quite nice if you want a bit of extra visibility as you approach your mooring or your lock. So with very little fuss, you can also pull those 3 rear bolsters out, and all of a sudden the whole of the rear of the boat turns into a big sun deck. So if you dropped anchor or you found a nice mooring, you can just literally use that to chill out. It's a great place if you've got children but want to go into the water on paddle boards or just swim and mess about. It's a great place to come back into the boat because you've got the swim ladder there, you've got a decent swim platform, and they can just come straight back onto here without clambering about in the main part of the boat. So on the slightly less glamorous side of things, I did say I would show you the clever trick of this boat, and that is got the toilet. So I've popped the 2 cushions out, very quick and easy, just takes a moment. Just the seat base and the seat back, those stack up at the side. That then I can show you once the door is closed. That's what you're looking at, but it allows you to open up the little door, pop in there, you've got a pump flush toilet to a holding tank. It is small, but it's a fantastic emergency facility on those days out where there's nowhere else to go. I've popped up the engine box so that you can see the engine on this boat. It's got an inboard Vitus 42 horsepower engine that goes through to a shaft, so this boat has a shaft, drive and a keel. That'll give you really steady straight line handling at low speeds. One signature part of Interboat construction is that they're very well insulated, these engine boxes, and you can see there's a lot of soundproofing and sound deadening to keep this as quiet as possible. So I was just talking about that engine and engine box and the sound insulation, so I wanted to do a little bit of video footage with me underway. So we are at normal river speed. I am talking very normally, and that's the level of engine noise you expect. It's very, very minimal, and it makes it a very relaxed and pleasant experience just pottering along the Thames, which is what the boat's really all about. So that's the end of the walk around of this Intender 820. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put the link to the listing for the boat in the description. Alternatively, if you are on our website, you've already had a look at the specification and you'd like to know more, please contact us either via email or give us a ring. We'd love to get you down and see the boat in person. Thanks for watching.